All right, mic check 2. Mr. Mayor, it is 6 o'clock. We're live, and we can proceed at your convenience.
Well, I've never had that option. In that case, thank you everyone for joining us this evening. We will call to order the Riverside City Council business meeting for Thursday, May 2nd, 2024 at 6 p.m. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Mr. Brown?
Here.
Mr. Denning?
Here.
Ms. Fry?
Here.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Ms. Lomach?
Yes.
Mr. Maxfield?
Present.
Mayor Williams?
Here. Mr. Manager, any additions or corrections to the agenda as presented?
No, Mr. Mayor, just a quick note for the folks paying attention at home that the meeting will look a little different tonight because we have a number of special presentations. We've moved those to the end of the meeting, so we'll do all of the business first, but no changes to the agenda as published.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for Ms. Lomach and a second for Mr. Denning to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. If you're able, please join us to rise and pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We've all had a chance to review the meeting minutes from our April 4th council meeting and our April 11th work session. Is there a motion to accept the minutes?
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from the Deputy Mayor to approve the minutes as published. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. If there are any citizens who wish to speak tonight on any agenda or non-agenda items, you can fill out a form found in the back of this room and hand it to the clerk who is up at the dais with us. And we will move on to public comment for agenda items. Can you hand that down to Katie real quick so she can have it first? That's a non-agenda
Non-agenda.
one.
Okay.
But I don't know if there's any turn-in for agenda items. No? Okay. Then we will move into new business, of which we have a handful of resolutions. First resolution, Resolution 24-R-2931. Mr. Manager, if you could please give us a quick reminder or a quick refresher on this one.
Yep, this resolution and the next one are both surplus item resolutions, standard housekeeping, things that we no longer need. The reason there are two is because the police department had a resolution prior that had a typo on it, so we have to pass a resolution specific for that, but that's the only reason there are two.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion for Mr. Denning and a second for Mr. Joseph. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2931 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. And the second resolution is very much of the same ilk, I should say.
Correct.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Ms. Lomach and a second from Mr. Brown. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2932 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. The third resolution, Mr. Manager, this looks to be the SRO resolution.
Correct. This is an addendum to the current MOU with Mad River Local Schools regarding the SRO. It clarifies how we will bill Mad River for those services, given the grants that both we and Mad River apply for each year.
Move to approve. Second.
We have a motion for Mr. Denning and a second from Mr. Joseph. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2933 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. The fourth resolution, Mr. Manager, this is with Belgray.
Correct. This is a resolution for ADA ramp replacement for some state highways at 201, 202, and 835. We have to replace the ADA ramps before mill and overlay can proceed later this year. Belgray is the lowest and best bidder based on the recommendations from our engineering firm, CMT.
Move to approve.
Second. We have a motion for Mr. Denning and a second for Mr. Brown. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2934 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions?
Abstain.
Mr. Joseph is abstaining from the vote. All right. And our fifth resolution, Mr. Manager, 24-R-2935. This is a liquor permit that we have an opinion on.
Correct. There is a nuisance case regarding this property that I've shared information with council about. We have the council has the opportunity to object to liquor licenses and register that objection with the OLC. This resolution would do that for this property in this case based on the nuisance activities we've observed at that property. I'll just note that should council pass this resolution, it does not automatically rescind that liquor license. It merely notifies OLC that the council, the governing body, has a concern and brings it to their attention, and then they'll review from there.
And the OLC ultimately holds the ability and authority to approve or deny a liquor permit.
Correct.
Do we send representation to that, to Aquifer?
To the OLC? Mr. Miller, I'll put you on the
We're kind of
spot for
between law
that.
directors now, so it's going to be tough.
Yes, thank you. So the city would be represented by the law director or designee and represent city council's interest and present evidence to the hearing officer assigned by the OLC, presenting the reasoning behind the objection, evidence, witness testimony if necessary. Again, to Mr. Mayor's point, the OLC takes all the evidence, and of course, the establishment owner would have the opportunity to be represented and present their evidence, and then the OLC would make a final determination as to whether to renew or not renew. Thank you.
Okay. Is there any more questions for the city manager before we call the question? Okay. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2935, say-
We didn't have a motion.
Oh, I apologize.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Thank you, guys. When Josh said at your convenience earlier, I really
well,
just,
you're
I kind of
really-
shut it down. I said, well, I'm just going to cruise through this. So we have a motion from Mr. Joseph and a second from Mr. Brown. We have a motion from Mr. Brown, a second from Mr. Joseph. Katie's got it all down.
I have it.
So, on Resolution 24-R-2935, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Mr. the Deputy Mayor abstains from the vote, and the motion carries. Our sixth resolution, Resolution 24-R-2936. Mr. Manager, this has a little bit to do with you, I think.
Correct. This is renewal of my employment contract.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion for Ms. Lomach and a second for Mr. Brown, and there's some booing coming from somewhere in the crowd. It's hard to
Ignore
pinpoint
it.
exactly which chair Frank's in right now, but. So we have a motion and a second. Did you get that, Katie?
Yeah, who did you say?
We had a motion from Ms. Lomach and a second from Mr. Brown.
Okay. Yep.
All right, is there any further discussion from members of council? Hearing none, all those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2936 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. Thank you, Chief. It's like the wedding, you know. Anyone who wants to say something, now's the time. We have a few more resolutions, folks, and I promise it will get more exciting. The next resolution, Mr. Manager, this also has to do with someone in the room tonight. So we have Resolution 24-R-2937 is for our law director duties. And Josh, I'll let you talk a little bit about that.
Sure. It's, yes, as discussed with council, staff highly recommend that we nominate Mr. Miller to serve as our law director. Jim has been a stalwart companion and a resolute and steadfast attorney for us since the time I have been here, an absolute rock that has great relationships with everyone, and we are extremely confident in his abilities to help us continue to form a proactive culture and an organization that is ready, able, and willing to tackle these significantly complex challenges that are before us. So I wholeheartedly recommend Mr. Miller as your law director. And if you have any other questions, just let me know.
Oh, that's what you say, let him know.
Or let him know. We really like him.
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from the Deputy Mayor. So all those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2937 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries.
Did anyone hear that?
Josh?
It was Josh's head saying aye in the background.
Oh, Josh might have said aye in that.
Yeah, did it come out? Yeah, we're gonna, then, I think the thought was, assuming this just passed, that we could do the oath, correct?
Yes, and I believe that Dalma would like to do the oath for Jim.
I think that's a great idea.
We need a microphone.
We have
Oh,
microphones.
we do need a microphone. Man, it's a shame you just renewed that contract.
So if you made the motion to do that, you can take it back, right? That's how those. Is it a different part?
Actually, you can. You can rescind your second.
Check.
Rescind your first.
Oh, okay.
state your name. So repeat after me. I state your name.
I, James D. Miller,
Do officially affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
do officially affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will in all respects uphold and enforce the provisions
and that I will in all respects uphold the provisions
of the Charter and the ordinances of the City of Riverside, Ohio,
of the Charter and the ordinances of the City of Riverside, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the Office of Law Director for the City of Riverside, upon which I, meaning you, are about to enter.
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the position for Law Director for the City of Riverside, Ohio, for which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Wait a minute, Jim, now you got to say a few words. This is part of the drill.
It is like a wedding. So, well, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Ms. Grandjean, for that, for the oath of office. That was special coming from you. Thank you, Mr. Manager, for those kind words. I'm not sure what else to say after that. And council, for your unwavering support. It's been a pleasure these past few years working with Ms. Grandjean to get to know each and every one of you. I look forward to continuing to provide advice, guidance. The city staff is all spectacular. I've developed wonderful relationships working with them. And again, I really appreciate the support from Mr. Mayor and the council. And Mr. Manager, I'm very excited to start this new chapter and looking forward to help pride, progress, and possibilities here in the city of Riverside. So thank you all for your support. Looking forward to this.
All
Thank you.
right, thank you, Jim. And we have a couple more resolutions here. Resolution 24-R-2938. This is for the Riverside CIC. Is that correct, Mr. Manager?
Yes, and I'll give you just the summary for both of these as well. As discussed at the last work session, these resolutions reaffirm the need to have a CIC, and they establish the initial code by which the CIC will function. The next step, should council approve this, is that the trustees of the CIC will hold an initial meeting to have bylaws adopted and discuss how to capitalize and structure the CIC from there, again, with the goal of getting all this off the ground by the middle of the year, July, August timeframe.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Joseph and a second from Mr. Denning. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2938, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. And final resolution listed here is the Code of Regulations for the CIC.
Correct.
Move to approve.
Second.
We have a motion from Mr. Denning and a second from Mr. Joseph. All those in favor of Resolution 24-R-2939 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, say nay. Motion carries. We're done with resolutions, and we'll move into public comment for non-agenda items, of which I believe we have one. Is that correct, Katie?
Yes, you gave it back to me, I'm sorry. Here you go.
Thank you. Mr. Flouty, if you could please come to the microphone, and even though we certainly know who you are, you could state your name and address for the record. And please keep your comments to 3 minutes. We certainly appreciate you taking time to be with us this evening.
Okay, thank you, Mayor and Council. Appreciate the time here. My name is Bill Flouty. I live at 1407 Dearland Street in Riverside, Ohio. And I am also president of the Riverside Senior Citizens. Hopefully you all have a letter that I put in your mailbox. And that letter explains a lot about what the seniors do, what we do for the community. And as you know, some of the seniors are not able to do a lot of fundraising because of our age and those kind of things. So we have always asked the council for some money to help us operate. And in the prior years, it was, I think, $3,000, and it went down to $2,000. And so this year, we'd like to ask at least for $1,000 to help us maintain the level of work that we do, and we do keep the seniors active. As one of the big things that we do is we try to do games, we try to do stuff that keep the seniors active. So if you don't keep them active, they don't do as well with the general public. So asking you to please consider donating to our senior citizens. We've been around since 1996, I think, is when we formed, and we certainly would appreciate any assistance you could give us. So, any questions about the Riverside seniors? Okay, any assistance would be appreciated. Thank you.
All right, thank you. We will move along now to the next portion of our agenda, and that's the city manager report, and I'll turn it over to Josh.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple very brief things. I did spend the day at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base today briefing several of the units on base about our Safe Streets for All project and the Woodman Corridor and the things that we would like to do in terms of redeveloping this downtown area here at Springfield Street. This, again, is part of our overall effort to go make friends and build bridges on the installation, as well as just let them know what's going on. I managed to talk to several of the folks in some of the engineering groups about Gate 1B as well, and to get a bit of an update on projects that they have planned. So all very positive discussions, and we will be inviting them to participate in the public comment portions of the Safe Streets for All project, which on that note, there will be a public meeting hosted by Mad River Local Schools on June 4th about the Woodman Corridor, specifically regarding the Safe Streets for All project and aspects of the corridor that people like, if there is anything, aspects of the corridor that people find difficult or challenging, particularly with respect to transportation, development, those sorts of things. So any and all are welcome to attend that meeting. We'll have a survey component as well that will go out and be available online for anyone who's interested to participate in. The work session, do have a work session next week. The next regular meeting after that is June 6th. And finally, I would just like to thank Ms. Dalma Grandjean for all of her help and assistance over the last 2.5 years. It has been an experience walking into a job like this for the first time, kind of getting your sea legs. And I learned very quickly that good legal counsel is an indispensable part of that relationship. And Dalma was instrumental for me, particularly in the early months. I leaned on her very hard for some things. And I just wanted to convey my appreciation for all of the support that you've given me and the advice and sometimes just the listening ear, especially given some of the complexities and complex things that we've had to talk about. It really meant a lot, especially in this role. So thank you again for all your help. And that's all I have.
All right, any questions for the city manager? Hearing none, we will move along. As we mentioned when we talked about the agenda earlier, we do have some things that are a little moved around, so we will have council member comments now, and then we will move into swearing in of some new officers, along with some presentations from our police, which we're very much looking forward to. So we will have council member comments at this time, and I will start with Ms. Lomach.
I just think that we all need to look at Memorial Day, look at the things that are going on in our country today, and if you do have the ability to think about all those young people that are involved, I've been very, very concerned in the last few days about the young people on our streets and on our college campuses. So if you can think about them and hopefully, if you're a praying person, that we can get our country back on track.
Mr. Brown.
I have no comments.
Mr. Joseph.
Dalma, as a new council member, I also want to echo what the city manager said. You've been instrumental in teaching me a lot about my role as a city council member. Not so sad, because I know I'm going to still see you around with other organizations that we're a part of. So I'll not see you every Thursday, but hopefully once a month. The city owes you a debt of gratitude. You've been very helpful with steering the city in the right direction for the last several years, so I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. And Jim, you have big shoes to fill. Might be a little bit taller than her, but she's got big shoes to fill. That's all I have.
Thank you, Zach. I'll save my Dalma comments for later. when we have the official recognition. But I know we have a work session next week, but we won't necessarily have a chance to be together between now and when a lot of high school graduations are happening. So we do still hope and plan to have some valedictorians join us at the first meeting of June. That's something that we've done the last couple of years and something that I've really enjoyed, seeing the top of the class from our high schools. And it's a real credit to our community, I think, that mom and dad raised these kids in many cases, or larger families, but the community helped shape them. So I'm excited to have those folks in June, and hope everybody enjoys the graduation season, and that we're also mindful of just how much our streets are really getting fixed right now. So it's take it easy on the roads a little bit when you're out and about, but it's how we get better streets. So on to the deputy mayor.
Obviously, I've been on council a short time too, but Dom, thank you for everything that you've done for the city, done for us. Obviously, they've said a lot, but thank you for everything. You will be missed here. Jim, good luck. You've got big shoes to fill, a lot to do, a lot of work to do. We're going to keep you busy. And I will say, it's great to see all the police officers in here. I don't get to see you guys as much as I used to in my position when I was at Stebbins, so it's good to see some faces I haven't seen in a while. So. And welcome to the new police officers we're going to be swearing in here soon. So.
Ms. Fry.
Okay, Thelma, I just want to express my gratitude to you for being such an encourager toward me in my role here in leading from a place of authenticity. You've been a great mentor and role model, and I appreciate that. Also, I have a couple other updates to give. First Suburbs gave a great presentation on the Kettering Leadership Academy. It was started by about 20 years ago by one of their council members, Bruce Duke, and it is still going, and it's very exciting to learn about. It's something that I hope that we may look at bringing something similar to that to our community in the future. One other thing to note, I was I had the opportunity to give written testimony on Senate Bill 137 regarding ranked choice voting, opposing the bill, and I was really impressed that all of the presentations that were given at that hearing was 100% opposed. So I'm really looking forward to talking more about that opportunity for our community next week.
And Mr. Denning.
Thelma, we're going to miss you. We've kind of gotten used to it with all the vacations you've been taking lately, but I will say that you have always been an encouragement to me personally. We may not agree politically, but we do agree that in the best interest of the city. And I think that your encouragement helped me move forward from where I was to where I am. So thank you very much for always being encouraging. And I think that's all I've got.
Okay. We will now move into our swearing in of police officers. Our police officer, sorry. And I'll turn it over to our Chief Frank, Mr. Robinson. I'm sorry, Chief Robinson. Well,
He's got your paperwork.
yeah, you get the paperwork, right?
He does.
All right. Gotcha. See ya. All right, this makes it easy for both of us, so I'm gonna put that there and this here. Dalma, you did like 2 sentences in a row and said, "Jim, repeat after me." As Jesse said, Jim passed his first test. That was. All right. So, please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Aaron Moffitt,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and of the state of Ohio,
and of the state of Ohio,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and will obey the laws thereof,
and that I will,
and that I will,
in all respects,
in all respects,
uphold and enforce
uphold and enforce
the provisions of the Charter
the provisions of the Charter
and ordinances of the city of Riverside, Ohio,
and ordinance of the city of
and will faithfully discharge
and faithfully discharge
the duties of the office
the duties of the office
of police officer
of police officer
upon which I'm about to enter.
upon which I'm about to enter.
Congratulations. Welcome aboard. And then I'll sign this one, then you sign them both too.
Get a picture up here, please, sir.
And then if you could sign both of those, you'll keep one and I'll keep one, and we'll give you pictures. All right. Actually, I'll just put both up here so you can take pictures, then you just take one home with you. Okay? All right, so you got to go up here and get all your pictures taken. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize, you're in charge.
More family?
Any other family want to come up and get a picture? Please. Grandma, Grandpa?
Okay, I'll get them too. All right, you ready? Moffett.
Okay, let's get one with the chief and the mayor. Wherever he went. He's right there.
Can someone get a step stool? Wasn't me this time.
Thank you. Okay.
All the officers will come up? You come up, sir. Michelle, baby. Come on up. I'll stand in.
Ange, do you want to get up there?
I'll stand in. Whatever.
I can take it.
Angie, you need to get the picture.
Yeah, lady. Yes.
She's like, she's gonna hide.
That's lighting. I know.
I was gonna say, they need to front you in a little bit.
Everybody came.
Take one copy. Keep one. Okay. So you keep that one, and we'll put this one in your file. Put this in the file, right?
Yes.
All right, so
You got one, right?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
This thing needs some help. How you doing? How you been?
You got to go the other way.
What's happening? Things ridiculous. You know, I can't do two things at one time. I can't hold that and talk at the same time.
I got you. Somebody hold the mic. It's finicky.
Thank you, sir. First, I'd like to say the same thing with the mayor said. Jim Miller is amazing. I can't, he remembered all those words. I was like, how is he doing that? These guys are back here going, no, my gosh, Moffett was sweating. So I'll try to be as quick as possible. I know we want to get through this, but first, the awards tonight that we're giving are for 2023, and I apologize that we're so far into this year, we haven't gotten there. Things happen. changes in the department, things like that, kind of slowed us down a little bit. But we're here. And all the awards, except for the last ones, are the exact identical award that are being given out. These awards were given out to only a few folks, and those were given by their peers or the ones that nominated them for these. I didn't nominate any one of these folks. I could have, but I let them do that, and these are the ones that got the awards for the year. And so what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to read you what we have down as being the Police Chief's Distinguished Service Medal. And so they all come with this fancy little pin right here they can wear on their shirt or jacket or whatever. A lot of us have several of those so they can put them together. But first I'm going to read to you what that actually is. So it's awarded for continued service in a skill or assignment characterized by sustained performance at a high level or great personal growth and development in a difficult task or challenging skill, the impact of which is of major importance to the department and the community. So that's what the award is all about. So the first award, I'd like to call up Nick Toscani. You know, in the years past, and giving these awards out, I've actually let the folks write their own bios or things that they've done. So they were so funny that they were making me laugh when I was doing it. So now I just wrote this so to be very dry. So this is why, and this is actually coming from the person who actually nominated Toscani for this award, along with other folks, and we kind of put it together. So bear with me. So I'd like to recognize Officer Nicholas Toscani for the Police Chief's Distinguished Award. Officer Toscani has done an exceptional job building a school resource officer program over the past 2 years. His efforts have been instrumental in fostering a positive relationship between law enforcement and the students, the staff, and the faculty. Officer Toscani is committed to making our community a safer and better place, which has been proven by his drive as a school resource officer. He has participated in and put together many programs to strengthen the relationship between the police department, Mad River School District, and the community. Some of these programs include, and there's plenty more of these, interacting with the peace officers for the sophomore class, safety patrol pizza, which is always a plus, cops and popsicles, and he's been instrumental in setting up bullying and school safety programs. For his efforts, he's made a difference in the school district and our agency for the last 2 years. I can't say enough about him. I talk about him in this council meeting all the time. We talk about how Toscani does such a wonderful job. He and I had a conversation the other day about was I doing him a disservice for him being in the school and where he is right now in his career. And to be honest with you, I can't. He's the exact right person to be there. Does a phenomenal job every day, and we appreciate him, the work that he does every day. So, Officer Toscani, here is your award for Police Chief's Distinguished Service Medal. You are a superstar. He knows I love him. I see him every day. He comes to my office and cries about what he needs from me. I'm just kidding. Thank you. Thank you. So in managing our time, I obviously won't read what that thing is, but we can have Detective Abney and Detective Todd up here, please. So in putting this one together, I just kind of put both of these guys in the same narrative. So the work that these guys do on a daily basis is very instrumental in how we accomplish our goals every day when it comes to investigations. You can't ask for two guys to work any harder than these two guys do every day. So both have been in the detective section for multiple years. During that time, they have worked on a variety of different cases, and in that body of work, both have worked on very high-profile cases that include, I'm going to say that, but rapes and murders and a multitude of other things that they have pulled off that is pretty amazing. Over the last several years, they have developed some very impressive skills that include diligence and overall professionalism that has led to some extremely dangerous individuals going to prison. I can stand up here and give you a police blotter of all those crimes and other cases they have worked and successfully filed charges and prosecuted the offenders. To give an example of their work, I will relay the years they were able to put offenders behind bars for the crime, well, I hate saying this, but for rape. In the time that these guys have been doing this job, they put prisoners, people in jail for 189 years, right here in Riverside. For the crime of homicide and/or murder, they have put individuals in prison for 120 years. The sad part is that we only use 6 cases to accumulate those numbers. So you see the job that they do every day, and it's not the pretty side of police work at all, because they see the nonsense. So for the job that they do under that pressure, it's pretty amazing. Today, Abney and Todd continue to perform at an elevated level every day. Their body of work has certainly impacted the police department and most importantly, the citizens of Riverside. And it is my honor to award both Detective Abney and Todd the Police Chief's Distinguished Service Award. Thanks, guys. Last but certainly not least, and I apologize for taking so long, I'd like to have Officer Brookshire step up here. Officer Brookshire has been nominated for the most awards given out tonight. Once again, his body of work it speaks for itself. On a daily basis, he's out there in the grind, and he's also out there making a difference for the public and citizens. And fortunately for us, he loves to go to the schools and entertain those children and have a very good relationship with those folks. I've never seen anybody talk more people out of nonsense than Brookshire. That's what I hear all the time. When Brookshire is the guy, if you want somebody to talk somebody down, it's this guy right here. So I'm going to read you what was written about him. Statistically, Officer Brookshire is among the top in the multiple categories with his fellow police officers. Although the expectation of an officer of the year includes a stat line, that is not what Officer Brookshire is all about. Officer Brookshire's fellow officers and supervisors recognize his ability to work with people that sometimes need a little more help. They have noticed his strong interpersonal skills and his ability to communicate clearly and effectively. These skills have led Officer Brookshire to be selected by Montgomery County Sheriff's Office hostage negotiating team. His immediate supervisor, Sergeant Vance, recommended the Police Chief's Distinguished Award he's getting tonight for his continuing service and skill and assignment while sustaining a high level of performance. Officer Brookshire's peers have seen firsthand his ability to de-escalate very threatening and potential tragic events regarding citizens with mental health issues. His peers have seen Officer Brookshire on many occasions go above and beyond to foster a relationship with the citizens on the calls for service. With the empathy and calmness, Officer Brookshire has helped many citizens get the help they need without any injuries or arrests made. For his actions, Officer Brookshire has been recommended for a humanitarian award. So Officer Brookshire will be giving we'll be getting the humanitarian award this evening. There you go.
Thanks, Chief.
For his overall body of work in 2023, Officer Brookshire has been nominated by his peers as the Officer of the Year for his professionalism, dedication, and most importantly, his compassion to help others. Officer Brookshire is the Riverside Police Department's 2013 Officer of the Year. He also gets the Police Chief's Distinguished Award Medal for those activities as well. And this is your medal there for that. And this is for your Officer of the Year. And my man, this is your plaque that I'm going to give you right here. We're going to muddle right through this real fast. Pull this off. That was like champagne, wasn't it? Ow. Bam.
It's a lot like a wedding tonight.
Thanks, sir.
You, my man. Oh, you need to go in there,
Yeah,
bro.
we need to get pictures, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
we're
guys
gonna
get-
make it, you guys can sit
All
in the
you
back.
guys, don't leave, but we need to get pictures of up here in the dais.
Oh, did he? Okay.
That's awesome.
Congratulations. I remember you coming on as a rookie, man. That's awesome. I remember you coming on as a rookie. That's awesome. You've been here 6 years already? That's crazy. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Let's do one at a time. Go ahead while you're up. Is your family here or? Okay.
Yeah, there's one right here.
Okay. Mayor? All right. What?
Is it my supposed to show this? You want me to send it?
Yes.
Keith, hold on to it like you're getting it.
Directors.
All right.
You go without it?
Congratulations.
Okay. You two come on up, let's get your picture, and then we'll get your family. We'll get a group in a minute. You can step over here.
Congratulations. Very quick. Congratulations. Great job.
Mayor back up here.
Like you heard you.
Oh.
Mayor.
Don't go away so far. I got that. Dan's family here. Come on, your family, come on up and get up here.
Come up, family.
Chief, you need to be in the picture.
He's going to say something to him.
You missed, sir.
Always surprised you never arrived. You know, I'm gonna act like you like that.
Act like you like it.
This is what happens every day in my life.
Step up, Mayor.
Oh, and he's teary-eyed.
Don't smile.
Ready?
So you go,
Mayor.
He tried really hard.
Chief.
So you go.
Good job, Nico.
Let's get a group of all of them, all the winners. Oh, we got another family picture. He was standing back there. I didn't know you had family there. I'm sorry.
Ready? Got it.
Now I need all the winners and the chief and the mayor.
She's the set director.
Best way to do that.
Yeah, Josh.
Josh, you want to jump in?
Sure.
Stay over there so we bounce on the sides.
Yep, that sounds good. We'll frame it. We'll frame it.
Because you didn't get your step stool, that's why you're in front.
All right.
Is that picture?
I want to know what you're looking at. You're good. You're good. You have the Grinch face on.
record kept. And the best way to do that is not on a piece of paper.
And we are,
I would like to, is this on?
Yeah, it's on.
Should be on.
I would like to thank the guys and gals that work for us every single day. We appreciate everything that you do. And I get a real happy feeling when I see those vehicles go by that say Riverside. I know you don't like blue and white, but it's okay. But thanks for everything you do. You're marvelous people.
I'll second that.
One thing. Oh, I can wait. They're
I think
they're
he's,
having their moment.
They want to spend the time with their.
so, we have the recess right after this?
Oh, we have a
This is-
proclamation, mental health.
Yeah, we have a
Proclamation.
Yeah,
proclamation.
proclamation. Okay.
Yeah.
Should I go ahead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you want to invite them up?
Yes. Who are our guests?
Dr.
They're in the
Renner
back. I see them
and
now.
Emily
I
Weeks.
now see them. I apologize. I was just in the clutter by the door. Okay. We have a few other guests that are here tonight, and we have a very important proclamation. We'd like to welcome them to maybe come up to the front. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We have a proclamation recognizing Mental Health Awareness Month and Child Mental Health Week. So if you would give me a moment, I would love to read this proclamation, and we'll hear from our guests. Whereas mental health is essential to everyone's overall health and well-being, and whereas all Americans face challenges in life that can impact their mental health, especially our children, who are at crucial development stages. And whereas we are committed to improving the understanding and awareness of mental health and the impact that it has on the lives of our citizens. And whereas the City of Riverside recognizes the profound importance of mental health support for its community members to lead fulfilling lives. And whereas Mental Health Awareness Month aims to raise awareness about mental health issues, promote good mental health practices, and encourage those in need to seek appropriate help and guidance. Whereas Children's Mental Health Awareness Week is a time to highlight the importance of caring for every child's mental health, which is an integral part of a child's overall health and well-being, and emphasizes the need for family and community involvement in building a supportive network for mental health wellness. Now, therefore, I, Peter J. Williams, Mayor of the City of Riverside, and the City Council do hereby recognize May 2024 as Mental Health Awareness Month and the week of May 5th through May 11th, 2024, as Children's Mental Health Awareness Week, and encourage all citizens to recommit to increasing awareness and understanding for mental health well-being. Signed under my hand on this second day of May 2024. And our guests here tonight, we're very happy to welcome. Are they from Dayton Children's?
Yes, they are.
Okay. Well, ladies, thank you so much again for being here. If you could please introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you guys are doing at Dayton Children's.
Thank you. As both a children's mental wellness advocate and Riverside resident, I am honored to accept the City of Riverside's proclamation today. As the outreach coordinator, oh, by the way, my name is Emily Whites. I probably should have said that.
All right.
As the outreach coordinator for the On Our Sleeves campaign at Dayton Children's Hospital, I work with my team daily to educate adults on children's mental wellness in order to break mental health stigma and encourage conversations with children about feelings. We encourage all adults to join our movement at childrensdayton.org/onoursleeves in order to begin receiving our monthly emails with tips and tricks to raising mentally well kids. On Our Sleeves is just one program that exists under Dayton Children's new Center for Emotional Well-Being that works to promote positive mental, emotional, behavioral, and physical health development in children and adolescents in order to get upstream of the mental health crisis. I would now like to introduce Dr. Winter, who is Chief of Psychiatry at Dayton Children's Hospital, who will briefly discuss the rest of Dayton Children's continuum of care for children's mental health.
Thank you, Emily. While we know how important these upstream tactics are, there are still around 7,000 kids that come to Dayton Children's in a behavioral health crisis. Due to this, Dayton Children's has made behavioral health one of their pillars and has expanded all of the behavioral health programs to help increase access to kids needing a higher level of care. In this last year, we have added community-based therapy services, group therapy, and more child and adolescent psychiatrists. In the spring of 2025, we plan to expand our services in Springboro by adding a new partial hospitalization program, therapy, and medication management. However, the highlight of our growth is a new building slated to open in the summer of 2025 near Dayton Children's Campus for behavioral health. This building will double the number of behavioral health inpatient beds and move most of the behavioral health services under one roof, allowing for a more convenient patient experience. Again, Emily and I, on behalf of Dayton Children's, want to say thank you for recognizing this important need.
All right, well, thank you for being here.
So,
Ladies,
Ladies,
if you could, usually we ask a few questions
Oh,
to learn a little bit more about all the things you offer. So Zach, go right ahead.
So thank you for
Yeah.
coming. This is hugely important to me. I grew up in a family who has a plethora of mental health issues, and having adequate access to care is wildly important. I don't know if anyone's ever tried to do this, but a little test. Try to go make a psychiatry appointment and see how successful you are and how long that takes you. Having access to care is wildly important, and it's refreshing to hear that the children in our community aren't going to have to go through the struggles that some of us have to face with trying to get mental health treatment. So, and I got a question. Adolescents, with their suffering from mental health issues, how important is that to start correcting that at a young age or treating it at a younger age versus like letting it go undiagnosed for years?
Yeah, so that is, oh, do you want to answer? Yeah, so that is kind of why Honor Sleeves exists. We are trying to kind of target before the crisis happens, right? So obviously, nothing like, it's no one's fault if you have a mental health illness, right? But there are things that we can do and tools and interventions we can put in place so that if when they do come into challenges, they have those skills necessary to overcome them. And if we can intervene sooner, we can have a better prognosis, if that makes sense. I don't know if you have anything else to add.
I just want to say I work in the education system. I've worked K-12 system, and I work in Career Technical Center. Thank you for everything that you all do. Obviously, we see more and more children with behavioral health issues, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle to educate families on understanding because they just think, they'll be okay, they're going to grow out of it, and it's not. They're not. They need help, they need assistance, and I truly appreciate everything that you do because it's powerful, it's meaningful, and every day we've got to help our children so that they can be successful and lead successful lives. Because it is truly a team effort. It takes a village to raise a child, and more and more. There's a lot going on that our kids are dealing with that people just don't understand. So thank you for everything that you all do.
Well, I want to certainly thank Councilmember Fry for making this a proclamation that we did today and that we've done in years past, and listening to you ladies talk and thinking about what we just did a moment ago with Officer Brookshire. When I think about Officer Brookshire, I think about how great of an ambassador he is to a lot of our young people in our community because I've witnessed it firsthand with my own sons, looking up to him because they've got to meet him at school. And I'm thinking about that, and I'm listening to this proclamation and listening to you ladies speak, and I'm thinking what we can do is that we can make the conversation about mental health something that is not something people run from. And as silly as it might sound, when you have great officers like Nick and Devin, kids like them. They don't want to run from that. They want to go to help. They want to go to help for help from that person. And if we can make mental health something that you can talk about with your child or your child can talk about with you, that's something that I think every person can do, even if we're not in the role that you ladies are in doing very important work. And that's why I'm happy about proclamations like this, that we can talk about it and we can make sure that people are having those conversations. They don't want to run from it. And that's something that I think is very powerful for a community to be able to do. So, Brenda, thank you very much.
And Zach.
And Zach. And Zach, are you still here?
I drafted the dang thing. The big thing here, you see the commercials on TV, and they're not just funny for a reason, about breaking the stigma, right? And what took me a long time to understand is that somebody with a mental illness is literally no different than someone with a physical illness. It's a chemical imbalance in your brain.
Needs treatment.
And it gets treated with medication and physical therapy, which is therapy in this instance, right? So understanding if you're looking at someone on the street that you could tell that they might be going through a mental health crisis, that shouldn't be anyone different than if you see someone with allergies or suffering from a cold. They have something going on in their body that's causing them to show symptoms, and they need treated. They don't need to be ridiculed. They don't need to be like chastised out of the community. And people do that. People see like, oh, look at that person. But you have to break that train of thought to remove that stigma from your head and don't see them as someone who's crazy or someone who is different than you. They're just going through something. So it's wildly important that that big overarching theme of this month is trying to break that stigma.
I just want to add on, I'm really grateful for the Honor Sleeves program. As a parent, I know that you can have all the best intentions of like being accepting and open to talking about your children's mental health, but you may not have the tools. And the Honor Sleeves program has been a great asset to the community for providing those tools for parents who may have not had a good example themselves growing up. So I'm appreciative for all the work that you do, and thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you so much.
And we have a proclamation that we present to you,
Okay.
and I'll ask Zach to present it to these guests of ours. Zach and Brent, how about that?
More pictures.
Up front. Didn't turn it on. Got it. Awesome, thank you.
And I believe now, at this time, we plan to go into an executive session for the reason listed on the agenda.
Move to go into executive session for the reason on the agenda.
So we have a motion for Mr. Denning to go into executive session, and we have a second for Mr. Joseph. Madam Clerk, would you please call the roll?
Mr. Denning?
Yes.
Mr. Joseph?
Yes.
Mr. Brown?
Yes.
Ms. Fry?
Yes.
Ms. Lomach? She's out in the hall.
Oh, I didn't know she stepped out.
I thought she was going to be right back.
She'll be back.
We have enough to pass it.
We haven't passed.
Yeah. Mr. Maxfield?
Yes.
Mayor Williams?
Yes. We're in executive at 6:58, and we will reconvene after executive. Thank you, folks.